Let's get started on today's open house certificate program in Hindu studies. And Srimati Pragya Vats is also joining to help answer questions. Of course, Kalyan Vishwanathan, president of HUA, and you don't want me to do a whole introduction. I should just hand it over to you, Kalyanji.
Yeah, so Ankur, why don't we, since the number of people is very small, why don't we promote everybody into a panelist?
All right, you can be a panelist, and you can be a panelist. Just
Everybody.
accept the link, the promotion, and you will be able to come on and turn on your camera and engage directly. Yeah, we have about 20 people with us so far. The folks who are actually interested in the certificate program in Hindu studies, glad to have you all with us. I see some of you are declining. That's fine. I'll go through and ask you to join as a panelist one more time, just in case I missed anybody. There we go. There we go. And then you will be able to turn on your camera and engage directly. There we go. No problem. If you choose to decline, I will stop asking you to join if I see that now. All right. Okay. And if I miss you, just ask or raise your hand and I can promote you up. Great. I think everyone's been invited now. All right.
Okay. I mean, the benefit of being a panelist is that you'll be able to speak, you'll be able to ask questions directly, you'll be able to engage directly, right? I mean, if you're in the audience, you can only type in a question in the chat window or a Q&A box. You won't be able to kind of engage with me, okay? That's the difference. So just so you all know, it's a difference. All right. First of all, I want to wish you all a very happy Ram Navami, because today is supposed to be the birthday of Bhagavan Sri Rama in Bharat, right? It's a very, very important day. And I hope you all at least remembered the day. Now, yeah, we should say, you know, Jai Shri Ram, because that's the spirit of the year, Jai Shri Ram, okay? And we want to mark the momentous consecration of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya after 500 years of struggle, which is such a monumental civilizational moment in Hindu history, right? Great. So I actually, Ankur alluded to the fact that I'm going to do some kind of a fantastic presentation, but I'm actually not going to do that. Okay, I'm going to have a conversation with all of you, and I'm going to set this up first of all by asking you a few questions. Okay, you all, and I would like you to answer. You know, just tell me in the chat window. You can type the answer. How many courses have you taken with HUA so far? How many? Give me a number. Just to put a number in the chat window. Just put a number. Taken. If you've never taken a single course, you can say 0. Okay, it's okay. None. 1. 0. Okay. 7 courses. 5. 0, 0, 0. 0. Wow, lots of zeros here. Okay. Okay. All right. So let me see, who's Saravanan Kasturi has taken 5 courses. Fantastic. Saravananji, where are you? I don't see you in the as a panelist. Jacob Zhao has taken 7 courses. Jacob, fantastic. Okay, great. Welcome.
I was in the Temples and Traditions course last quarter with Jacob.
You were. Okay, very nice, very nice. Okay. Now, you know, Ravi Khannaji has taken a bunch of courses, right? He hasn't responded. I don't believe he has responded. Okay. All right, good.
I have 14 courses. I have taken
14
for
14 courses.
More than 3 years now. I've been taking course every quarter. So
Okay.
most of them Sanskrit last 3 years.
Yeah.
But I did take orientation to Hindu studies with you.
Yeah. So for people who have not taken any course at all with HUA, right? This is your sort of your very first, if at all you take a course, this will be your very first course. I have an invitation for you, okay, for all of you. I'm starting a course this Saturday titled Distinguishing Varna and Jati from Caste. Distinguishing Varna and Jati from Caste. And Jacob, you took that course with me, right? And I probably haven't graded it yet, but I will. I promise you I will do that. Jacob, anything you want to say about your experience of that course when you were with me in that course?
Oh yeah, definitely. There was a superb course. Not that I'm speaking with you. Why I say that. Yeah, I'm not a Indian of birth, but I have been to India many times. I'll go there twice this summer. So I have been curious about all things about India. And one thing that had attracted a lot of attention in the international community is the caste system. So I took courses on, darshana, the introduction to Hindu philosophies, and Upanishads 1 and 2. I loved all those, and I wanted to go practical. So then I took your course. I thought that was really, really informative. It provided the background, and it's through the centuries, even longer, and through the British period, contributed a whole lot of misinformation and other things to what commonly was perceived as caste system or discrimination. And I think my takeaway is that not only have I learned from you about the subject, you provided a lot of background information as well. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Great, Jacob. Great, thank you. And I really appreciate your deep interest in learning. It's really, really inspiring for us to observe that, and to see your persistence, your consistency. And are you in the certificate program in Hindu studies, Jacob? Are you?
I'm not currently. I like to know about it, but
okay.
I think in the past semester, quarter, I completed. Not sure if I passed it or not. I completed all the requirements for Hindu temples and traditions.
Okay.
Ankorji was in the same class.
Right.
He must have passed it with high marks. I'm not sure about myself, but
okay.
Loved it. I loved it. Yes, great course.
We have his application, so we will send you the details.
Wonderful, wonderful. Great.
Thank you.
Okay, terrific. Okay. So, for people, as I said, who have not taken a course at all so far, I recommend you jump into this course, Varna, Jati, and Caste, the distinguishing Varna, Jati from Caste, Varna and Jati from Caste. Recommend that. Okay, it's a great beginning. Of course, the other place to begin is orientation to Hindu studies, which I won't be teaching this quarter, but maybe the next quarter. And of course, you can always take it in any sequence you want. Now, I'm going to speak a little bit about the certificate program in Hindu studies. Okay. So essentially, what is this certificate program? So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take you to my home page, and I'll just do it like this. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. So this is the home page of the HUA website, hua.edu. And if you scroll down a little bit, you will see a section called Programs of Study, right? And we have two divisions, the graduate division and the community education division. The graduate division consists of master's and doctoral level programs. That's a very high bar. Okay? It's a very intense commitment. And obviously, it is for people who are very, very deeply committed to a graduate level degree program and who are willing to put the time and energy and persistence, commitment that's it's required in these programs. And largely in the graduate division, we are going to be focusing on, in the Hindu studies area, we're going to focus a lot on writing. We want our graduate students to develop a deep interest and love for writing and expressing themselves in writing, particularly academic writing. Okay, so we have besides all the courses, the core courses in Hindu studies and adjacent intersection studies and so on, there are courses on research and writing which will prepare students for a lifetime of writing, of research and publication. You understand that in other words, the graduate programs lead you towards developing a lifelong commitment to research, writing, and publication. Okay, that's a broad commitment, of course, within the area of Hindu studies. Now let's come to the community education division. Here we have a lighter set of certificates. These are not as rigorous and as you might say as intense as the graduate programs. And at the very top of the community education division, you have the certificate program in Hindu studies. We have the certificate program in Sanskrit proficiency, certificate program in Bhagavad Gita through Sanskrit, certificate in Hindu civilization studies, certificate in Shuddha Hindi, micro certificate in spoken Sanskritam, and community education program. So these are the group of programs, and we're going to now take a look at the certificate program in Hindu studies. Take a closer look at it. Okay, I'll click on this, and you'll come to this screen. Now there is a video right at the very top. Okay, this is a recording of my a few things I've said about the certificate. You can watch it later on at your own leisure. It's about 3 minutes long. I'm just going to read this part, okay? The certificate program in Hindu studies prepares students to engage with the world as a Hindu with confidence and clarity. Okay, there are two things there. Engage the world with confidence and clarity, that a lot of us can do already, okay? We are prepared through our respective educational backgrounds, whatever we've studied in science, technology, medicine, business, whatever, we are all perfectly capable of engaging with the world as we see around us with confidence and clarity. But this certificate program prepares us to engage with the world as a Hindu with confidence and clarity, as a Hindu. It is not at all the case that our confidence as a professional, as a technologist, as a scientist, as a doctor, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, really prepares us to engage with the world as a Hindu with confidence and clarity. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean to engage with the world as a Hindu with confidence and clarity? So we are going to take a look at that question a little more deeply. Along the way, it also aims to develop in the student a lifelong love for service and contribution. And ultimately, it is what it is to be a Hindu is to expand in our dharma, our rootedness in dharma. And dharma simply means to serve and to contribute. To express ourselves through our contributions in the world. And it answers a different question. What can I offer to this world? What can I contribute? How can I be of service? What difference can I make? Okay, and that's a very different question than the question, what can I get out of this world? What can I get for myself out of this life, right? So it's a kind of the alternate question. At the end of the program, students will be informed, empowered, and inspired by the possibilities of living a deeply fulfilled life as a Hindu, and making a real difference in the world, again, as a Hindu. As students discover the range and depth of Hindu thought, its uniquely awesome cosmology, and clear up some of the misconceptions and erroneous narratives that they have inherited, which all of us have, by the way. All of us have inherited a lot of misconceptions and erroneous narratives. As we do that, students will find themselves being profoundly transformed, naturally creating new realms of self-expression for themselves, new possibilities for who they can now be in the world, who you can now be in the world. That is the promise of the certificate program. Now, to complete the certificate program, students must take at least 15 credit hours from the core courses in the certificate program. And they may complete the remaining 9 credit hours by taking any set of elective courses from the community education program, thereby completing a total of 24 credit hours. So when you complete 24 credit hours, you will be eligible to earn the certificate program in Hindu study, the certificate in Hindu studies. Okay, so that's the whole program. Now here are the courses. So if I click this here, right here, here are the program learning outcomes. Through this certificate program, students will be able to, number one, clarify the Hindu paradigm for themselves. It's a very different paradigm from the Western paradigm. And to clarify it for themselves, being able to articulate that paradigm, articulate the contemporary relevance of Hindu thought. And this is, Hinduism is not obsolete. It's not some old, archaic, something that has become irrelevant to the contemporary world, right? So, through the certificate program, students will be able to articulate the contemporary relevance of Hindu thought, apply their learning to think from a Hindu context, create new pathways for service, leadership, and global engagement, then contribute with confidence and clarity in unique and innovative ways. Okay, so these are the intended outcomes of the certificate program in Hindu studies. By the time you finish the whole certificate, meaning all the 24 credit hours of the certificate, you will attain these learning outcomes. That's what we are committing, we are promising for the students. Okay, so now let's go down here further. There's a little bit of information here about the structure of the program, how long it will take, etc. But I'm going to go and take a look at the list of courses. So these are core and required courses, and you have to take 15 credit hours, 15 credits from the core and 9 credits from the electives. And we have lots of options, lots and lots of options. So we're going to look at what is available in the course list. So here in Hindu Studies Foundations, we have Orientation to Hindu Studies. Many of you have taken it. That's one of the kind of the entry level into the certificate program. Then Distinguishing Varna and Jati from Caste. That's a course I am teaching starting Saturday. I once again invite everybody who has not taken it to jump into that course. You will not regret it. It'll be a really amazing explorative journey of 5,000 years of Hindu history. Okay, so really speaking, it's a course on the history of Varna, Jati, and Caste. Another way of saying it, but I've called it Distinguishing Varna, Jati from Caste. Sri Aurobindo and Sanatana Dharma, Introduction to Hindu Philosophy, Shad Darshanas, Upanishads, Part 1, Part 2, Swadharma, Discovering and Living Our Life Purpose, Dhyana, Meditation, the Meditator, Self-Knowledge in the Quest for Happiness, Introduction to the Vedic Ritual, Understanding Hinduphobia, Women in Hinduism. These are a set of Hindu Studies Foundations courses. Then we have another set of courses under history and methods. This is reconstructing Hindu history, the commissions, reconstructing Hindu history, the omissions, and then how Hindu Dharma transformed America. These are 3 courses under history and methods. And then yoga studies, yoga should be, Ankur, make a note of this. The yoga of the Bhagavad Gita. I don't know why it says yoga in the Bhagavad Gita. This is yoga of the Bhagavad Gita. Somebody make a note of it. Ankur? Is he there?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, good.
We'll do it.
Yoga of the Bhagavad Gita. And then under texts and traditions, we have the Hindu temples and traditions. Dhyasa Bhashya Vadi Shankara. That's not a link. Why is that not a link? Hyperlink. Ankur, make a note of it, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Advaita, Vishishta, Dvaita, and Dvaita, the 3 flavors of Vedanta Shastra. Sankhya Darshana 1 and 2. Vedanta Sara of Sadananda 1 and 2. Okay, those are texts and traditions. Then Ayurveda and integrative health, wisdom of well-being. So all of these are considered core and required. The only course that's really required is orientation. All the others are considered core, and you can take as many courses as add up to 15 credit hours. Some of these courses are 1.5 credit hours. Some of them are 1 credit hours. You will add up to, once you finish 15, you've completed the core requirements. Then you have these elective courses. Now you have to take only 9 credits from the electives. And we have, once again, a fantastic list of courses. So here, electives. Now when you go to electives, again, we have Hindu Studies Foundation. So we have, Deha, Jnana, Yoga, and Bodha. These are 4 courses that help you become primarily a Bhagavad Gita teacher. It's basically a Bhagavad Gita teacher training micro certificate. Okay, these 4 courses, they are embedded right now in the Hindu Studies, in the certificate program in Hindu Studies. You can take all these 4. We have the lessons from the Valmiki Ramayana for teens and parents. You can do it with your teenage children if you want. Discover the contemporary relevance of Hindu Dharma. Then there is Sanatana Dharma. There's a renaissance of Sanatana Dharma in the light of Sri Aurobindo, part 1, 2, and 3. Upanishadic dialogues, Chandogya Upanishad, Ramayana, again for excellence in management and leadership. Chanakya's leadership principles in the 21st century. Story writing intensive, writing for the young reader. Then I've added the Discover Dharma study tour in India, which we will again launch this year shortly. Then history and method, distortions in Indian historiography, yoga studies. We have a whole bunch of courses, holistic yoga, philosophy and practice, deepening your practice, immersive exploration of the iconic autobiography of a yogi. That is Life of Paramahamsa Yogananda, who literally brought yoga to America. And it's a fantastic story of Yogananda. Yoga of the Mahabharata, which is starting very, very soon, within a week, 10 days or so. Antaranga Mandapam, yoga of motherhood for young mothers, for parents dealing with children and teenage issues. Yoga of motherhood would be a great course. Mother womb, engaging the divine feminine. So really a great course. Understanding the Vedas, chakra healing, decolonizing yoga, teaching holistic yoga retreat, internship and practicum in teaching holistic yoga. And under texts and traditions, you have a whole bunch of courses. Ragas in Shastriya Sangeet, modern music, that's starting shortly. Or the other one, history of Shastriya Sangeet, that's starting probably. Indian and Western music traditions, a comparative study. Introduction to Dasha Shanti, mantras, Dakshinamurti, Stotram, disease through the lens of Ayurveda. 3 Vedantic perspectives on the Bhagavad Gita. 3 Vedantic perspectives on the Ishavasya Upanishad. Ramcharitamanas, continuity in change. Vajagovindam, across the universe, is a very interesting course. Nyaya Darshana, parts 1 and 2. Then Ayurveda, essential nutrition. So Vashtu Sahasranama, and so on. And then conflict and peace, we have some courses on sustainability, ecology, sustainability, climate change. It's becoming an Ayurvedic health counselor. So this is a very exhaustive list of courses. And as soon as you complete any group of courses that adds up to 15 credits from the core courses and 9 credits from the elective courses, okay, you will complete 24 credit hours and you can earn a certificate program. You have completed the certificate program in Hindu studies and you will get a certificate in Hindu studies. Okay, so I will stop sharing right here and I would like to take some questions at this point. Okay, and I'll just say one more thing. Any courses you have taken already can be rolled into the certificate program because they will all count towards the certificate. So you won't lose any credits that you've already taken if you have taken them in an a la carte manner. Okay, so I'm going to
And,
pause.
Kalyanji, adding to that, the courses which are only a part of Hindu studies, not Sanskrit or any
Yeah.
other, community education courses.
Right. So that the courses that are listed there, I went through the
Yeah.
whole list. That is the certificate program. Okay, so I'd like to take some questions now from anybody who'd like to ask me a question. You can type it in the Q&A box. You can type it in the chat window. Yeah, Jacob, you had your hand up, please.
Yeah, I have a quick question. May I take more than 15 units from the core courses? You said 15 from the core,
Yeah.
9 from the electives.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, you can take all 24 from the core. That's fine.
Okay, right. Okay.
That's perfectly fine.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Yeah, Raviji, you get your hand up. Yeah.
Yeah, my main question is because we're taking Sanskrit, it's pretty intensive, I mean,
Yeah.
so I have a lot of interest to whatever all these courses you outline, they're
Yeah.
very interesting. But how much time is the commitment is there for each course?
So, Raviji, you've taken a few courses that are non-Sanskrit, right? From the
Yeah,
group
orientation to Hindu studies and the Hinduism 101 by the Hemaji and the
okay.
couple. Mhm.
Yeah, orientation is probably a little bit on the higher level in terms of the quantity of work and involvement. Okay.
Mhm.
And the course that Hemaji and Hariji taught is probably on the lower level. Okay. And most courses will be somewhere in the middle, okay, in between, in terms of the kind of effort that will be required on your part.
Yeah, I'm thinking of maybe finishing the Sanskrit, this year and then start.
Perfect. Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Yeah. Any other questions from anybody, please? Please type the question in the Q&A box or the chat window. I mean, you can ask any question, okay? Well, what will I get out of it? Why should I do it? Any question?
Okay, I will, on behalf of some students that I've spoken to, one question that you just may answer. Many of them ask, will this certificate be helpful in their careers?
Yeah, see, the certificate, will it be helpful? So there are two answers. Okay. There's a yes and a no. Okay. Now, let me deal with the no first. No part of the answer first. See, is any professional organization, is any employment kind of situation, scenario, are they going to give you any credit for having completed this certificate, professional credit for having completed this certificate? Okay, the answer at this time is probably no, not yet. Not yet. Okay, so that's the no part of the answer. Now, what do I mean by not yet? Okay, see, we are going to accredit Hindu University of America. We are working on an accreditation application, and we will get the university accredited. After it gets accredited, these will be your certificate will be credit bearing. Okay, it's a recognized credit bearing certificate. Will it make a difference in certain contexts? Yeah, it probably will after it's accredited. Will it make a difference right now when HOA is not yet accredited? Probably no, but in some very limited contexts, it could. It could. Okay. Now, let me get to the yes part of the answer. Okay. I think the bigger impact that the certificate will have is really in terms of your own personal transformation. Your own transformation in terms of your deep groundedness in who you are. What your understanding of your dharma is, and your commitment and your passion, and it'll reorient you in terms of what you consider to be priorities in your life. It'll provide an organizing framework for prioritizing, for putting time and energy into areas where it's meaningful for you, right? And when that happens, it will expand your self-expression in the world, and it'll manifest in ways that you cannot even predict. I can't predict. Okay, and you'll find yourself being naturally much more engaged, much more expressed, much more active in the world. You'll be contributing, you'll be making a difference, and that, I promise you, will enhance the quality of your life without question. And in that manner, yes, the certificate program will make a real difference in your life as a whole, and that includes your professional life, personal life, your spiritual life, and all of that. Any other questions? Okay, so level of difficulty, Krishnan. For a person aged 73 years. Okay, well, Krish, what is the full name? Krishnan. Okay, Krishnanji. Age, 73 years, exactly the same age as our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He's also 73 years old. I'm not going to say much more than that. Age is just in our imagination, and clearly, he's not retiring anytime soon, I don't think. I mean, you have to generate. You'll enjoy the whole experience. That's all I can say. If you commit to it and take it up. See, some people feel like I'm 73 and I'm too old. Some people feel like I'm 73 and I'm young, I'm fit, and I'm ready to go, and I got so much more to contribute. So it becomes a bit of more of a way of being about the age rather than the age itself. Okay, any other questions, anybody? What would you suggest for the students who don't have any knowledge or understanding of Sanskrit? How we could simplify the understanding of Hindu studies for them? Yeah. See, you're speaking for about 99% of the Hindus. Okay. 99% of the Hindus have not gone through any understanding, any real education in Sanskrit. Okay. So you're not alone. Okay. That's the most important thing. This is Dr. who? Dr. Reena Kapoor. Yes, Reena ji. You're asking that question. Reena ji, you're a panelist. You can come on the video. You can speak if you're open. Open your camera and unmute yourself. Yeah, morning.
Yeah, good morning. It's my good morning, actually.
Oh, you're in India?
Yeah, I'm from India. It's too early for us.
Uh-huh.
So actually, we are planning. I'm basically in Dayal Singh College, Dayal Singh Evening College.
Could you please speak a little louder?
Yeah. Am I clearly audible now?
Yes, now it's better. Thank you.
So I am from Dayal Singh Evening College, University of Delhi.
Mm.
I'm from India. So we are actually planning a course of Hindu studies for our students,
Mm.
for undergrad students, right?
Okay.
So the problem is that the students, those who are from, basically we are having a mixed gentry. Like we are having some students from rural background, we are having some students from our background. So
Yeah.
what we are planning to do is that to provide them the basic understanding of the course, right,
Yeah.
for the Hindu studies. But the problem is how to initiate this understanding,
Mm-hmm.
because most of them are into this metropolitan culture,
Yeah.
and this metropolitan culture, to introduce them about Sanskrit and the practices straight, without any basic understanding, or without any basic I mean uh, the relevance,
Mm-hmm.
I mean the questions which arises
Yeah.
immediately in the mind of the students are, why we should have to do this,
Yeah.
what will be the benefit, how this course will be benefited for us for in our further career.
Yeah.
I think you can understand the dilemma and the thought process of the
Yeah. Absolutely.
students,
Absolutely.
specifically the undergrad students. So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is my question: how we could simplify them for those undergrad students. Number
Mm-hmm.
one,
Yeah.
number two, without providing them the basic knowledge of Sanskrit, or
Mm-hmm.
without including the Sanskrit, I mean those terms.
Rinaji, you went on mute. Rinaji, you went on mute, huh? You got to unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
how, without any complicated vocabulary of
Yeah.
Sanskrit, or how,
Mm-hmm.
without any Vedas or Vedantic knowledge, how we
Mm-hmm.
could just impart, or we just can try to inherit some basic Hindu
Yeah. Yeah.
practices and the knowledge.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Rinaji, let me respond to that. Okay.
yeah, please.
Yeah. See, first of all, I think it is not necessary that to have a basic grounded understanding of Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma, one has to know Sanskrit. That's not required. Okay, it's not correct. It's not required. You can have a wonderful grounding in Hinduism without knowing Sanskrit as a language. That's possible. That's the first point. Second point is, you can still learn a collection of Sanskrit words. Okay, we can create, for example, I'll give you 10 words. 10 words only from Sanskrit. 10 Sanskrit words. If you understand these 10 words, you will understand something about Hinduism. What are these 10 words? Okay, let's start with karma, number one, the most important word in Hinduism, karma. Then dharma. Then moksha. 3. Yoga. 4. Samsara. 5. Bhakti. 6. Right? What else? Uh, Artha and Kama, Purushartha. 7 and 8. Okay. What else? Samskara. 9. Okay. And then you can throw in one more to complete the 10 words. Okay. If you understand these 10 words sufficiently deeply, you will understand Hinduism. I mean, at least at a basic, you'll have a basic grounding. So you don't need to go into learning and studying the Vedas and the Upanishads and so on in order to understand get a basic vocabulary, a basic set of words. And you can then increase, go from 10 to 20, go from 20 to 50, 50 to 100. And if you understand 100 words in Sanskrit, it's great. It'll ground you in the Sanskriti, into Samskriti. And that is what it is to be a A Hindu is to be grounded in the Sanskriti, to be cultured, to be knowledgeable, to be a contributor, to have a positive orientation towards life. So Hinduism does not operate at the level of, see, there are three things, okay? There is knowledge, there is skills, and then there is attitudes. In an educational environment, knowledge is very, very important. You're imparting knowledge. But at the end of the day, knowledge transforms into skills, which can be used. People can apply those skills. If I take a course in accounting and finance, that is knowledge I can apply. So it's not just knowledge, it becomes skills that I can use and apply to get a job, to make a career, and so on. So the question that students are asking, how will it help me in my life, in my career? Where will I apply my knowledge of Hinduism in my career? Well, the answer is Hinduism is not going to give you directly the skills required for a modern professional career. It's not going to give you, but it is going to restructure the students' attitudes. And attitude is everything. Once you give students acquire the right values and attitudes, then acquiring the skills is secondary, is easy. One can become a lifelong learner very easily, right? It's about generating that sense of self-confidence and having the right attitude in life. So, Reena-ji, I would say that this question, what is the use of studying Hindu studies? What is the value? What is the practical value of getting a certificate in Hindu studies? Cannot be addressed at the level of practical skills for entering a professional career and making a professional life. But it can be addressed, and it should be addressed at the level of the foundational values and attitudes that a person will carry throughout their life, regardless of their profession, regardless of the skills, and which will in turn shape their orientation, their values, their attitudes, beliefs, and the way they engage with the world. That's where Hinduism will operate at a foundational level. Was that helpful, Reena-ji? Let me ask you, please.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Now, you see, our curriculum, the way we've laid it out, the core courses and the elective courses, you will find they're all built like that. They are built, they're created to work at the level of foundational values and attitudes. Foundational ways of being in the world, ways of viewing the world around us, ways of engaging, ways of relating, and with the world. When I say with the world, what I mean is, first of all, it begins with engaging with ourselves as a person, our attitudes, our beliefs, our sense of self. Who am I as a person? It then expands immediately to my immediate family. Who am I for my wife? Who am I for my husband? Who am I for my family? How am I going to contribute and be of service to my family? What is my dharma towards my family? And that, the moment one begins to think in that manner, what it creates is, it creates a set of attitudes and values that generates harmony in the family. Okay, harmony in the family, that elusive thing called harmony in the family, which most young people are seeking very seriously, don't you think? They're seeking. Young people are seeking harmony in the family. And where have they gone to learn about harmony, how to create harmony in the family? Where, which school? In Delhi University, where does it teach that? In IIT, they don't get it. How to create harmony in the family. How to raise children who are themselves dharmic. How to raise children who will be contributors to the society, regardless of the circumstances. these are foundational questions, and it is it is fashionable to ignore these questions today in the modern education environment. And it's more increasingly fashionable to ask the question, oh, what's the use of learning all this? How does it help me in my career? And that becomes a utilitarian attitude towards education, right? Utilitarian. Is there any immediate practical value? Is it like learning Java or C++ or Python or AI? Now we have to learn AI. Okay, I mean that has practical value in terms of its immediate applicability. But Hindu studies is about fine-tuning our attitudes and values. It's like getting an internal spiritual tune-up. Okay, and that's what the certificate program in Hindu studies offers. Yes, Jacob.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Jacob, you want to say something?
May I add a couple of thoughts?
Yeah.
Although I've been to India, particularly Mumbai, for 15 times,
Yeah.
I do not speak any of the Indian languages. So my point being that I have taken 7 courses by now. I'm sure if I have Indian heritage, or had I known any of the languages, particularly Hindi, I would have gotten more, perhaps a lot more. I don't know what I missed. But I think for young people, high school or college age, particularly of Indian descent or in India, they could learn a lot more than I could have. And I have been very happy about my learning in the past 7 courses. Now, let me get earlier there was a question about the level of difficulty for a person aged 73 years. I like to keep, I'm not 73, but I'm not much younger than that. But I do know a fellow student who had been with me for at least 2 courses. His name is Jose or Josh Ngojo. I think he was in.
Jose.
Yeah, he. I think he's almost completing his certificate program. Now he and I communicated offline, and I learned that he's from the Philippines. He was raised Christian. I think he's still Christian, but he wanted to expand his spiritual horizon. So that's what got him into Hindu study, and he loved it. I think he and I. Sometimes I could not cope with the amount of email he sent me, but he's a very motivated person, and he's definitely 73, but he's retired though. He does not have business to run, but I think I think as long as another thing is that just recent, I don't want to provide any misleading information, but just last week I watched a movie called Maidan, that by Ajay Devgan. There's a new movie. I'm not sure whether you watched it or not. Long story short, it was a very famous soccer coach or football coach. It was a long movie. In the intermission time, he already was fired because of politics. He also was diagnosed as having cancer. Then he got depressed. He didn't know what to do, wander around. But then his wife asked him one question. I'm not saying that we should ask ourselves this question. The wife asked questions. Okay, what are you doing at home? Waiting for death? Okay. So that gave me a inspiration. Okay, I don't have cancer yet, but I mean we all will die somehow. But if we just keep motivated and interested in doing things and achieving things, I think
absolutely
which does not matter.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Really great. All right. So any other questions from anybody, please? You got a few more minutes. Everybody's so quiet. I wonder why. Okay, so there was a little pop-up poll that Ankur put up. Ankur, have people answered already, or are you still, is the poll still active, or is it?
Yeah, it's still active. Only 4 people have filled it out so far. So please
Yeah.
try to pop in there and just answer some of those
Yeah.
questions. We'll leave it up for another minute or two.
Yeah.
My understanding is that those people who are on this panel
Mhm.
are not allowed to vote. So that's why I did not vote.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Panelists cannot vote. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, no worries, no worries. All right, everybody. I think we've come to the sort of the end of this discussion. Okay, and I'd like to end by encouraging all of you to get into the certificate program in Hindu studies. Okay, just commit to it. You can take it at your own pace. You know, if you take 3 courses a quarter, you can finish it very fast. Finish it in probably less than 2 years, 1.5 years, you'll be done. But if you take it slowly, you take 1 course a quarter, you can kind of take it at a more gentle pace. You can take a little longer, but enjoy the journey of learning. Okay, and I think it'll be really worthwhile investment for all of you. And for those of you who are already taking a lot of courses, you know, please consider switching to the certificate program. So you're committed to the full certificate, and you can, you know, then just simply complete it by taking the courses that you haven't yet taken. Okay. All right. That is today's session. Any other final questions? Otherwise, we will conclude at this point. Does anybody have anything you want to share or speak about or say?
Sarvananji has his hands raised. He is a CPHS student.
Sharavanan Kasturi.
Yes.
Sharavananji.
He's
You want
enrolled in
to,
the program.
Sharavanan, are you able to speak or no?
I'll have to.
Yeah, I can speak. Yes.
Yes. Can you turn on your video also?
Yeah. Let me see the video.
Saravanaji, you've gone on mute again, okay? Unmute yourself. There you are.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a current student in the certificate program, but I want to say something. I could not have captured it better than what you meant. There are knowledge, there are skills, and there's attitudes, and how it shapes you to be a better human, and also how it makes you a better human with your spouse, with your children, and with your colleagues. It's incredible. I want to tell that I myself am reaping the benefits of that. So I'm a physician by work. It didn't give me a knowledge to be anything that I do in my surgeries or anything I do in skill sets to do something better, but it gives me to do everything better, to be better knowledge, how to get better knowledge, how to be better skilled, and how to be a better human above all, to be a better contributor to what you do. That I see the benefits of this already. Yeah, I've taken 5 or 6 classes so far, courses so far.
Yeah.
And I've been motivating more people to take. In fact, my goal of attending this webinar was not to decide if I should take one, but what can I learn, few pointers so that I can motivate my dearest friends to take this course.
Yeah. And you are coming to the Varna Jati course, right, Sharavananji? I'll be seeing you this Saturday. Yeah, wonderful. Great. All right, everybody. My last, so Sharavananji, thank you so much for that, for sharing. Okay, we really appreciate it. I'll be giving you a call at some point soon. And then for everybody who hasn't yet taken the course on distinguishing Varna and Jati from caste, please jump into it. It'll be worth it for you. Okay, a very worthwhile journey. Okay, with that, we will end this session. Namaste, everybody, and thank you so much for your time. And I'll see you soon in a different class or session. Okay, namaste. Bye-bye.
Thank you.